the Raptors in Toronto in that first game.
Yeah, they have had success. And the reality is, yes, the Bucks are the better team. They have the better roster, but that's why you play these games. The Magic more than capable on any given night of beating anybody in the NBA. Let's see if they are up to the challenge.
Chris Middleton, first board of the game, a guy that comes in averaging 30 and 14 a game. The only player in the NBA to be in the top 5 in both points and rebounds. His first look is a 3, and it didn't look bad.
The Magic loaded. They did a good job with that first wave of offense, but Giannis, they're able to knock down the triple. If you're the Magic, I tell you what, I'd like to see more of that if you want to have a chance in this game.
Great take. The big guard, Markelle Fultz.
Yeah. Big, physical, athletic, and really starting to understand the NBA game.
He's now in his 3rd season. The outside game's working.
And that Bledsoe getting off to a good start with that perimeter jump shot.
Vucevic averaged 20 a game last year. Was only 11 in the playoffs, though, against Toronto. Nick on the run out and the mid-range game. And right back at him. Yeah, just so he could take an elbow to the chin.
Yeah.
So the Magic coming in with a 33 and 40 record, and both teams went 3 and 5 during the restart. Will give and go off the pick. Gonna be Ennis. He's got the triple.
My goodness.
Yes, 1-point lead for Milwaukee.
And the one positive, that elbow to the chin, a lot of times the question is, are you going to be willing to consistently over 48 minutes to stand in there and take that? And there was an example of the rotation coming a little late there from the weak side.
Good extra pass, the dream. And both teams shooting lights out for the most part. Orlando right now, 5 of 6. Make it 6 of 7. Now, Jared, thank you. They're turning the basketball over. That is their 4th turnover already for 11 points the other way.
And that's, again, you have to find things like that if you're the Magic. That you're not going to out-talent this Bucks team. You've got to win the position.
From Gary Clark.
I tell you what I've been really impressed with is his activity as a team defender. He's got 3 deflections himself here in this first quarter, folks. He's done a terrific job of using his athleticism and anticipation to disrupt that Bucks offense.
Got the ball out of Middleton's hands. Marvin to Williams gets the triple. He's been a corner 3 guy forever. Taken 2nd overall in the draft.
Opportunities in a half court against him. You just got to have that ability to knock them down consistently.
4 of the 5 starters still out there, like Markelle Fultz in the mid-range. And you're right, the confidence growing for this young man. Markelle Fultz has started the game now.
That's Giannis, and he's right at 30 minutes. So they play a lot of guys for extended minutes. They got a lot of confidence in this group. And
they're picked up and going the other way is Wesley Iwundu. Good wing for them. Very athletic young man. He got contact, and he's going to the line, looking for the 3-point play on the foul by Connaughton.
Yeah, giving the Bucks a little bit of their own medicine there, able to get that defensive backboard and attack in transition. Had a cross match there, takes the contact strong enough to elevate and finish in traffic.
Yeah, the investment, Greg, they've made in Iwundu has certainly paid off. 2nd round pick, 33rd overall in his
drafted in that 2nd round. At the minimum, if you can get a guy on a playoff team, Bucks with Giannis.
2 for 1 for Iwundu. And now they'll take their time. The veteran, the 32-year-old DJ Augustine, had a good drive and kick for Nick Vucevic. He's got it again. Vucevic into double figures with a dozen.
But again, it was the veteran Augustine with the great penetration, forcing the help, and then delivering the pass on time there for that triple.
George Hill, Vooch, tapped it away to Iwundu. Final 5 seconds. Got to be aware of the game clock. He is. And didn't get the roll. Everything else worked for the Orlando Magic, though.
Could not have had. That's an area where you can offset some of the talent if you can win that possession back.
Bledsoe up against the other small guard, Augustine. And a second chance opportunity on the short shot clock now for the Bucks. They were 24th in the league in scoring before the restart. You saw the significant improvement. Chris Middleton trying to defend a 2-guard that long.
Oh, man, he is really smooth and able to create his own shot off the dribble as well.
Detroit wants him back. Former 2nd round pick of the Pistons. They let him get away. Now the 2nd year of a big deal with Milwaukee Bucks. So Iwundu taking advantage of Kyle.
And you don't don't mind that, though. That's really good offensive execution. They are creating great looks in the half court against the #1 defense in the NBA, and Korver able to knock down.
And now going to wall off with Antetokounmpo. I think he draws a little attention. And did he walk?
They're going to get a foul.
Yeah, hold on Kem Birch.
But that's still good defense there. And that play kind of showed you a little bit of frustration for Giannis early on here, because he was more than determined to get to the rim there. Good job defensively. You see that wall that's put there, but he is just determined. Probably did get away with a little bit of a shuffle of the feet there, but there was some contact, no doubt.
Change your pivot foot if you like. So they said he initiated it. Orlando still shooting 55%. Fournier hit half his threes against them this past year. Ennis from deep beyond the arc.
Yeah, I was actually surprised.
Off the bench. And boy, Marc Gasol doesn't look like Marc Gasol from that replay from last year. An 11-2 run now in a shocking 18-point game. Make it 16. He's going to get his. We know that. Now 3 of 6 at the free throw line. Fultz, an impact player early in this game. Quiet since he came back onto the floor. Gary Clark spacing. Gets another triple. Giannis will get there and follow his own. That's patting the stats, Moses Malone. 9-point game inside of 2 to play.
He is such a force.
And the guy who drafted him's in the building, of course. Markelle Fultz.
Impressive to see the confidence to take that triple.
George Hill on the probe. It's got to be interesting for John Hammond, who's the GM of Orlando now. Had been in Milwaukee and drafted the man with the ball, Giannis Antetokounmpo. As he gets the 3. Action points off a turnover. Let's head downstairs. Join Jared Greenberg. Jared.
Well, Joel, I spoke to Bucks assistant coach Charles Lee, who is destined to be a head coach in this league one day. And just like you guys have been saying, he said the Bucks need to be the aggressor here in the second half. Wasn't pleased how the Magic took it to him in the first half. And then the other part of it.
That is double-double with 5 dimes. And that's on a 7 of 12 start. 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Almost taken away. It is taken away. Eric Bledsoe read it. And smallest guy on the floor.
Milwaukee to get their rhythm.
Now Antetokounmpo on the spin and got what he wanted. So a 9-2 run to start the third for the Bucks. And when it's going well, it's really going well, isn't it? Using the glass. $20 a game in the 4 games against Milwaukee this year. Has yet to score. And out of the timeout, Middleton. Didn't see it coming, did he?
Yeah, you know, that's the...
Ennis has 9 above their season averages. Bledsoe going to the line. It beat Fultz out front and got him late.
Yeah, and I tell you, Bledsoe has just been really solid here tonight. Picking his spots. Just strong, able to take that hit there and finish through that contact.
It's nice when you know you are appreciated, as Eric Bledsoe found out last year. He's in the second year.
To get that easy deuce for Giannis.
Yeah, nothing Fournier could do in that matchup downstairs. Giannis 10 of 16. Just like Vucevic continues, though, for Milwaukee on at least the 3 ball. They're 9 of 26, 30. Vucevic % on their triples. They average 14 threes a game. That's 4th best in the NBA. Left hand, Nick Vucevic.
Where's your leading scorer? So
over the top, Vucevic. They fronted him. He gets the best of them. Marvin Williams in a difficult matchup for him on the block.
And great recognition.
So 3.5 left in a wild third. Where it looked like Milwaukee was ready to go out in front. Instead, another triple from Nick Vucevic. He's 4 of 7 from beyond the arc, and he's up to 30 points with a make.
And I did misspeak there. Fournier is their 2nd leading scorer, but he's not someone you would expect to be scoreless at this point in the game. And fortunately, other guys have been able to step up here for the Magic.
Yeah, Vooch is averaging 20 on the season, slightly ahead of Fournier with 11 boards. And he's taken to another level. He's got 14 coming up short. Terrence Ross, who checked into the game, but 14 to the 30 for Nick Vucevic here in the third 12-minute period. So it's back to 12. They call Vucevic on the hole, fronting Brook Lopez. So not that you're going to put doubt in anyone's mind against the team with the best record in the NBA this year. But at least you're making them think twice.
Well,
Ennis and Birch, and blocked away by Lopez. So Birch tried to put his body into Brook. It didn't exactly work, though.
No, could not create any space there. And great job going vertical by Brook. And you can see Birch never really had control of that. No chance.
It'll be Bledsoe, blocked away by Ennis, and a foul by James Ennis.
And he ain't going to like that because that foul occurred after the block shot. Clear with the block, but the contact there a little late. Bledsoe gets the call. But either way, you're happy if you're Steve Clifford because they've seemed to brought that intensity back up. You know, Milwaukee had them reeling a little bit, but now the confidence seems to be back.
Yeah, and it goes back to what Ernie and the guys were listening to him at halftime. The activity and the energy of the 8 seed, like we just saw from Ennis. You could experience courtside, reinvent it with Michelob Ultra at 17, but they turned it off. They were up by 33 in one of those games. It wasn't even a game.
Well, they won the first one by 32, so they did have a pretty dominant performance over the course of the season.
Final minute of a productive third. Augustine going to the rack. DJ.
And it's why they find themselves an opportunity to take a 1-0 lead in this series.
Now, the mid-range game doesn't work. Running out of racing room with 95 seconds left. Adetokounmpo, a great look for Connaughton. Too strong. And a good box out. It's going to be a loose ball foul on Adetokounmpo on the solid play on the ground by Vucevic.
You know, and great point. And what was smart from Vucevic's standpoint is he wasn't going to out-jump Giannis. So you're better off just not allowing him to jump.
Old school.
And you can see that's just a smart play by Vucevic there, just not giving him the opportunity to go up and elevate and grab that offensive board. And at this point now, you want to make sure if you're the man, just milk the clock. You don't even have to score again. Just don't turn it over.
You see the dominance of the season series, so nobody could have anticipated this today. Fultz with Vucevic. Great pocket pass inside. 68 seconds left, and the upset so far in the NBA playoffs comes on day 2, game number 1 in this series of 1 against 8. Step through, George Hill goes to the line looking for the three-point play. But only 58 seconds left. Hard to believe, but the role players, whether it was Gary Clark in the first half or Terrence Ross in the second half, they filled the need for the Orlando Magic.
Really good coaches. And the other thing about this game, how about this is the #1 rated defense, the Bucks. They give up 120 points to this Magic team. So they'll be heading back to the drawing board to see if they can up the ante intensity-wise and how they started that first quarter.
You know, getting ready for this game, the one thing that surprised me, the last 12 games before the shutdown and the 8 games of the bubble, the Orlando Magic averaged 118 points a game. They really jacked it up offensively and surprised everybody. So maybe all of a sudden now they're playing to their strengths.
Yeah, I tell you what, also, you got to give Steve Clifford a ton of credit because just the way they play. You know, they're always seeking the right shot. They're playing for one another. They were really committed defensively to their game plan. And that tells you they're buying what he's selling.
Giannis, the foul, the front, and has been a jewel of a day for the Orlando Magic. This is big. Augustine, great off the bench, like Ross, and balance across the board. Marvin Williams hits it, and that will give us our final score of a 12-point win for the Orlando Magic.